Hey gamers and modders, programmers, whatever. Welcome along. This is going to be slightly different to all my other videos I've ever done on this channel, and this is going to be more of a loosely modding at this point, but more of coding. So Ashes of Singularity has its own launcher. What's going on? Restream is updated and Norton doesn't like it. We run it anyway. We'll trust Restream. It has its own launcher. Okay. Now there is a problem with having its own launcher, is that it's pretty much a general launcher to launch all other Stardock games as well. So you can launch the game from Steam or GOG, and then you can actually end up playing something else entirely if you so choose to do. So for those not perhaps familiar with that, let's get, there we go. So just hit play from there. Here's the launcher which just hidden itself behind there, and we could, yes, install Rebellion, Plague, Galactic Civilization instead, or whichever games they'll be adding in there or pre-ordering. Okay, so we can end up like clicking settings. So we say, okay, we want to change the settings, but it says edit settings file. So we click that, and we're actually in a notepad modifying any file. Why notepad? Well, because notepad's been associated with .ini. If you click on it, it says, what do you want to open in it with? Well, notepad, because notepad is just the basic text editing program which doesn't add any fluff like line returns, character and bold, italic, and other fancy stuff that Microsoft Word would introduce in there. So it's just basic text. Of course there is line returns in there, because otherwise how do you get these separate lines? And if you're seeing something like that, oh, that's fine. Word wrap. Probably want to have word wrap off as well. No text in there. But yeah, so we can see that if we go decide to stick word wrap on, which you can see, then it starts wrapping the words around. And the text isn't long in there, and we're in the wrong file anyway, so let's get out of there. So yeah, this is actually the Singularity. Edit the settings file, and we just got a whole lot of text in there, some which we can make out and understand, like resolution, that's width by height. Our API which we're using, I've got DirectX 12 in there, we're not using vertical sync. Well, there we've got like hot load enabled, which I have no idea. Well, that's referring to a setting that I seem to have come across, and like asymmetric GPU. Is that meaning using multiple GPUs or not? And there's just lots of settings in here. So if you don't know what you're doing, then you could potentially break your settings file and cause a game to crash when you try to load it. So I decided I will create a little launcher that will help users change the configuration of the game, options and settings, video settings, music, and all the other settings that you can do in the options menu, and then run it. So you don't have to open the game, change it, exit out of the game and rerun it to do it that way. So it's a little time-saving feature, especially for people who want to run benchmarks, as we should be able to run Ashes of Singularity from my custom launcher, and also go straight into the benchmark, as well as there is an auto bench run feature which we can customize, and that'll just require a little click of a button, change maybe that setting to 1, run Ashes of Singularity as a benchmark, and then when it's finished running, maybe switch it back, or just change it each time that we click the option, whether that's play or benchmark. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to use Microsoft Visual Studio 2017 for this. Why? Well, it's just a tool I've used, Visual Studio, with Unity projects. So I'm familiar with the interface and I like it more than MonoDev. And yeah, I'm also hoping to improve my skills in this and Windows Forms. So I've already created a project for this, and if you don't know how to create a project, then well, lots of tutorials on Google. Alright, so yeah, the project is open. I've got Solution Explorer here, and here's the form that I've already started. So I've just got a couple of tabs, tab control, and I've got labels, combo box, and that's called a track bar. So I'm just going to recreate the options menu for Ashes of Singularity. I opened it up before and I made a note of all these things here. I don't have a camera which can show big screen. Yeah, slightly bigger. Hey. So yeah, just a little summary of what I'm doing, and I've got the first tab of the options, the game options listed all there. So it's probably going to take a couple hours if I just wanted to in effect create a mock graphical user interface to get everything in it. What I think I'll do is I'll just get all the options in for, well, all the controls, the graphical controls in for this game option, and then start coding it. But the thing is, what we do not know is what all the actual values are going to be. So when I say what the values are, so if I was to go and say, what is it, bind cursor. There we go. So we've got bind cursor. So we've got it set to always. Okay, but when we look inside the game and we'll look at what the options it gives us, we've got bind always, bind never, bind smart, bind full screen. So we could probably presume that bind never will just say never, bind smart will just say smart, and bind full screen will just say full screen. But we cannot say for certain that that is the case. So it's going to be a bit of repetition, going and making changes in the options and seeing what they reflect back in the settings.ini file, and then coding it. Yay! So anyone who thinks I wanted to make video games, and you're like in school and that, and you're like looking at coding, and you're thinking, wow, I can make this awesome game in Scratch really easy. Well, okay, that's Scratch. It's going to take a lot more effort to do something a bit more complicated, which does not require drag and drop. So yeah, I'm going to code. I like to code. When I say code, I mean actually type code. Because it's just a lot more powerful than what any drag and drop interface could ever provide, really. Right, enough for chatting. No doubt I'll get asked all these questions later on. Let's just leave that there. We're going to be running the game every now and then. So, got a tab control on here. I'm just going to click inside the tab control because I want to be able to change the text and give it a name like game. There we go. So we're on tab page 1. So we'll just call that TP game. So we know that's to do with that. We'll just call that options. TC options. There we go. Or I could put TC in front of it because then well, it's a tab control. So we've got a label in there. I'm not going to bother to rename the name of the label, just the text and what it says. This is a combo box. I'm just going to be my bind cursor. This is my track bar for cursor scales. So TV cursor scale. For some reason I cannot spell cursor today. It's like every time I've typed it, that's how I've typed it. So we're just going to edit the items in this combo box. So we've got bind cursor. We can have bind always, bind never, bind smart, bind full screen. However, having just thought about that, I might want to do that programmatically rather than making changes that way. Anyway, okay. Let's just advertise. Yeah, okay, it's in there. Yay, advertising. Yay. Alright. Oh gosh, yeah. There you go, now you can see what we're talking about. Alright, fine, it's fine. Try and move things around a bit on my second screen, just so I can see stuff. Right. An interesting thing with our camera scale, it goes from 100 to 250 degree increments. I've never used this control before, so tick frequency. So maybe that's 50. And maximum value, that's 200. And then minimum value 100. There we go. What's the small change mean? What does that mean? Tick frequency. We can just run this and it's not going to do much other than just display this. And alright, that's the tick frequency, is it? So we definitely want to change the tick frequency. So the things we've just done, just control the pips. Tick. What was that? Small change. We want it the same as tick frequency. That way, we've not got any yeah, well, that's going to require some looking at, isn't it? Let's change. Number of positions the slider moves in response to mouse clicks on the page up and down. Well, 50 as well, I guess. It's all a bit of experimentation now. But we'll eventually figure it out and lock it down so that it is user intuitive at this point. So an experience for me using different controls, and that's the whole point. Well, okay, well, whatever, that can stay the same. We don't need to change that. Oop. Oop. Small change, large change. Okay. That's still not going to really do anything, is it? That's terrible. Oh, we could actually do page up and just say large change and whack it maximum, I guess. But you know, that's fine. That's fine. So let's just get the rest of the options in this screen. Let's make this page bigger because I don't want to get everything in there. Maybe we'll hide the output for now, and then we can actually use it bigger. And we can well make this as big as we want for now. Worry about dodgy screen resolutions later, since people aren't running Ashes and Singularity at minimum screen resolution of 1980 by 1080 or HD, 1080p, whatever. Some people are actually running at some strange resolutions. Hey, if you don't want to go with the norm, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Alright. So we got bind cursor, cursor scale, in-game player icon. Might as well just get all the labels in, I suppose. So right now I'm just going to be manually changing the layout. Could have used some auto control, but to find it cumbersome until I'm ready. I might use it later. So this is going to be in-game player icon. I'll just keep getting these labels in. Camera, pan, mouse controls. Is mouse loose a bit diffuse? Label. Camera pan control key controls. Right, typing is going to be atrocious because I'm trying to touch type. As I can type fast, but I can't touch type 100%. Need some music, it's boring. I'm going to disable YouTube.